Jewelry can say many things on your wedding day. As a wedding band, it can say, "This is a forever symbol of our forever love." As a gift to your wedding party, it can say, "Thanks for standing up there with us." Blue Nile can help you find the piece that says it all and says it beautifully, with expert guidance and a wide assortment of jewelry of the highest quality at the best price. Go to BlueNile.com and experience the convenience of shopping Blue Nile, the original online jeweler since 1999. That's BlueNile.com.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
Happy Wednesday, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Giving Flowers with none other than your host, Henrik Iberg. How you doing, brother?
Awesome. We worldwide today. I mean, we're normally worldwide. We're normally in Quebec. But today, we also were Phil Casabon in Sweden, northern Sweden.
I'm here. I'm getting a chance to go live today. Unfortunately, Henrik is gone to meet the king, so he's not around with us, but he will be in the flesh. And it got me thinking, there's one star in our solar system. You know which one that is?
The sun?
The sun. If the sun skied, picture this, if the sun got to ski, powerful magnetic pull attracting all planets to orbit around its center, it would attract everything to gravitate around this one thing. And our guest today
It's got to be that sun coming out of the corner.
That's the guest shining bright on me already, looking over. Henrik Harlaut is the son of skiing. If the sun skied, he'd be like Henrik Harlaut, rocking more gold medals than Slick Rick the Ruler. You already know how much this guy give to the sport. He synthesized the best, the MVPs like the Monstars did in Space Jam, but instead of leaving the talent handicapped, he gave flowers back because he's that humble. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands in the eye, throw your cups up, light your spliffs, do it all for Henrik Harlaut joining Henrik Iberg and I.
Bullet.
Woo!
Are you with the king? Where are you? And what is going on?
I'm in my whip.
Oh, no. That is fucking awesome. How you doing, Henrik?
I'm very good, thanks. How are you?
Phenomenal. Thank you for hanging out with us today.
Thank you for letting me hang out with you guys.
So,
Yo.
I'm going to give a breakdown quick, kind of, Phil. What do we do every time? So what Phil and I do is every Wednesday, we missed last Wednesday because Phil went skiing again up in northern Sweden, which he's still at right now. But we want to celebrate the people that are dope in the sport, the foundation, the icons, the legends. Henrik is the first guy that's still doing this shit compared to the last four guys that we talked to, but he is a living, still skiing legend. He is an icon, and he has the track record to prove it, and he's just begun. Because you're only, 34? 32? 30.
Me?
Yeah.
30.
30. So it's pretty fucked up when we look at what you've done in the last 14, 16 years of your career. And so we just wanted to make sure we celebrate you because, tomorrow's not promised. So we want to make sure, as your friends and as people that can give you this platform on Casabon's fucking Instagram, make sure, we thank you. Because it's like you gave so much support, you still give through what you're doing, producing product and clothes and movies and videos and all this shit. So we just want to do this, have you on there, let you know how dope you really are. And probably everyone knows you who's tuning in. But maybe if some of the older heads are tuning in, You know, this is Henrik Harlaut. We're just gonna fucking praise you today, man. So big up yourself. Thank you for coming, showing up.
Thank you. Thank you. That's an awesome introduction. I really appreciate all the kind words.
All sports combined. I love sports. I watch a lot of extreme sports and not so much of the other sports, but still in the realm of sports and beyond, being an entrepreneur, being just the presence that you have, I've never seen an athlete meets artist as prominent as Henrik. Literally, and I've had the opportunity to be first place to see the man rise to the top, like not from the very beginning, which we're going to touch upon, but for a big part of our lives, us three got to share some of the most pivotal moments that shaped us all. And we saw Henrik just totally eat up this industry, but he didn't eat it up because he gave it light, really. Just he gave shine to everybody, and everybody is so proud to be in a sport that you are the head of. You know what I mean? Like,
you represent. I want to add something to what Phil just said, first of all, because like when you say artist, I think a better word might be is an entertainer. You know, like you brought entertainment to the sport like no other, like as far as like the nickname stuff, like what you both guys did, and like just making sure you know it's entertainment. That's what you do. You entertain at a contest, you entertain at a movie, you entertain on their social media. Like I would say you are the illest entertainer that Twin Tips have seen. Because I mean, no one else like can look at you and be like, man, I can't wait till he barks at the camera. Can't wait till he drops his hands at the Olympics. Like, ain't no one entertained the people like you do, love or hate, man. So big up yourself even on that. Like, just hearing that, because I mean, like when I look at the artist guy, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna give Pollard that title, you know. But like, man, Henrik, hands down, you're the biggest entertainer I know. So that one's dope. Sorry to cut you off, Phil. Just never really thought of that.
Thank you.
That was accurate. And you cut me off for the right reason here. So let's throw it back a bit and give the audience a bit of feedback on the place where you grew up skiing on a garbage hill. Two bros, Wagwan, your dad brought you to the garbage hill and you straight kicked it off? Or was another sport first things first? How did skiing grow to be what it is?
Yeah, like you said, I had two older brothers that was very into sports, and just growing up being very inspired by them and like wanted to follow what they were doing. So we were basically doing anything we could, from playing hockey, soccer, to indoor hockey, to alpine racing, to pretty much anything that was involved with any activity or sport. And naturally, just my brothers were alpine racing, so I started alpine racing. I was living at the time in Stockholm, which you're referring to, Väsjöbacken, which is a old garbage or a junkyard from the beginning that turned into a big hill, basically like a East Coast or Midwest mountain, maybe like 200-meter long. And that's where I started skiing from the very beginning. But then it was just like, I guess my family was like very into skiing. So then we would go up to Åre, which is a more popular ski resort in Sweden, and we would go up there on our winter breaks or spring break or Eastern break to just go ski because we loved it. And it was like, in our family to always go ski as much as we can. But while still living in Stockholm, my biggest dream was definitely to become a hockey player, because I lived basically 2 minutes away from the ice hockey rink and maybe 15 minutes away from the ski hill at the time. So the accessibility to hockey was even easier than skiing at the time, especially because at this time, all I knew with skiing was basically like moguls or alpine racing. So it wasn't like the free skiing yet, where you could like have a backyard set up with your own, your own creativity and your own ideas and own freedom. So yeah, hockey at the time when I was young.
My question, like, you were one of the guys that came to the sport really young. Like, I'd say 14 to me is when you kind of put a stamp. But before that, you knew you wanted to do it. What was it? Was there something right at the beginning when you tasted both sports that you were like, all right, skiing's it? Or at the same time, was it, I want to be the best at this because it's that fun? Or did that come later?
That came a little bit later. I think like when I was 9 years old in 2000, my family moved up to Åre because my oldest brother was starting the Alpine Racing Academy up there. And like I said, we had been up to Åre a bunch of times on our breaks and was loving skiing. So we figured it'd be a fun opportunity to go and try live with him the first year that he was going to do academy, so we could like stay at home and we could try out what life would be like up in the mountains. And that's like when I got introduced to free skiing. Like I always like would try find little jumps on the side of the hill or like catch air somehow, like anywhere on the slope, but I didn't know. Like when I moved to Åre, there was like one slope that was fully dedicated to free skiing or like snow park, which was called Snowboard Land at the time. And that was like the illest ever. I remember so well when my older brother Oscar, who was the middle brother, he came home and he was like, yo, you're not gonna believe I just found the illest slope ever that's like all jumps. And I was like, no way, what is this shit? Basically, I was like so blown away and so hyped when he brought me to the Snowboard Land. And then later that year, so in 2000, they had a huge big air event on the top of the mountain in Åre, which is called Red Bull Big Air, where some of the greatest skiers in the world came and competed. And I remember just being like so blown away with like how ill this sport was, because I loved skiing from the beginning already. Like racing was pretty ill in my opinion. And then I had started skateboarding maybe a year before that, so I knew about that aspect as well, where it was like styling and tricking. And then now it was like this skiing thing mixed with skateboarding, basically, where you could like express your creativity and style. And I saw people going backwards, spinning and landing backwards. It was just like beyond every other sport that I'd seen, like way cooler than every other sport I had
So
seen.
in like 2000, you're 9 years old, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so in 2009 years old, the Red Bull Big Air comes and the best skiers come. Was it the whole sport that blew you away, or was it any individual at that time where you're like, holy shit, that guy's like a little different? Because everyone had their own style at the time. Even if it wasn't like the same, like back full. It was like a Mikkel to a Rex Thomas or something.
Yeah. The first year, 2000, at my first viewing, I would say it was just like the overall look. Like everybody looked so different and everybody was super ill. Mikkel was there and won the qualification, but I wasn't like I wasn't like able to really recognize it at the time, because I was like, all this shit is like the illest ever.
Your third grade, to put it in perspective, like as an American, like a third grader is just kind of like anything you go through, the ambience, the whole wow factor is the big thing.
And a full-on like, foreigner to the sport at the time, like where I was like all was new. Like, yo, I had never seen anybody even go backwards before on skis. But then by the time and then like yeah, I definitely recognized, like I remember seeing Mikkel and seeing him like doing rodeo sevens that was like super ill and fly. But then the second year in 2001, I remember Yoon Olsen had like a gray puffy jacket, headphones on, and like was telling like the speaker when he came up to him, and was like, "What are you listening to?" And he was like, "I'm listening to French reggae." And I was like, "Damn!"
And just to
He had
remind
like a
people,
full on like,
in 2001, Yoon's style was double XL clothes, like headphones and like rubbed out hair. So it was a whole different Yoon Olsen who's anyone watching, because a couple people ask about Yoon. So the 10-year-old now that Henrik is, that's seeing the Yoon that we all know, was a little different in 2001 as the influencer. So sorry to interrupt you. Just want to make sure people have a view of not like you looking at you now or a couple of years later.
yeah, no, yeah, that was about it basically, and that was like I was saying before, that was like beyond everything that I had seen before. And around that time, I had like studied it more, or like got more introduced to it, and like realized like how much iller this sport was than any other sport I had pursued before. Where like I was saying in the beginning, I was following my older brothers with whatever they would do. I would try to copy, but the age separation made me never able to really be able to practice with them. And with free skiing, we would just go out, me and my two brothers and my friends, didn't matter what age it was, we could ski all together, and we could go home and ski in my backyard. And like, it was like no timetables, like this is a set training, this is a competition, this is a match day. It was like, it was all open and free. Like, and for a person like me that was super energetic, and like I hated being inside in general, I used to always want to be outside doing sports and activities. So then it was like perfect. I could be out and do it, like create my own schedule, how much I wanted to train and practice.
Speaking of your older brothers, your older brother Philip got married recently, and you took the stage and gave a speech. Can you tell us what that speech was about?
Yeah, I guess just a little bit. I had to give him a little bit of, yeah, give him a little shit too, or like, because I was like trying to explain who he is a person as well, and like all these persons are obviously telling all the like super good side of him, but then I had to also tell him that like how like competitive he was as an older brother. So when I told him, I told everybody a story when I was 10 years old, and I entered my very first big air competition, and my parents was like traveling or something, so my grandparents was taking care of us at the time, and my grandparents was like telling me that like, yo, be safe and like take care, this is like your first competitions, like maybe don't go too crazy out there. And at this competition, Yoon was there. Yoon won the competition, and it was a huge jump, like way bigger big air jump than I had ever hit before. So for me, it was like a big achievement just to jump it with all these guys that I was like looking up to in Sweden. And so every jump I would just do a different grab, like a mute grab, a Japan air, safety, or like Louis Kang, double Louis Kang, like all these. And I was like mad hype after the competition. And then my brother Philip came up to me after and was like, yeah, that didn't go so well, huh? Maybe it's better you try focus on a different sport, because I think we should sell all your ski equipment. and that like and then I told like the full cycle how like that motivated me from that point to like kind of prove him that like no, this is like something I really love and I want to pursue, and I love this sport so much. And like having my older brother like calling me out kind of and being like, yo, you're not so good at this was a big factor in the beginning. What motivated me a lot.
That's some wicked journalistic work there, Phil. To get a story to find Henrik's motivation as a youth. But Phil's good at this show, Henrik.
I got lucky out there. And was Mikhail already getting blunted on his Switch 7s at the Red Bull Big Air? Or what was he doing?
No, it was Rodeo 7 Mute.
Oh, the classic Al.
Yeah. So it's like 2000 is the year before royalty.
Yeah.
So it's like, have you ever seen the movie Los Alamos or Los Alamos 2? It might be. I never even knew. But on the VHS, it's like Los Alamos, and then it's a girl that has the leg, so it looks like a 2. So me and my brothers never knew if it was Los Alamos 2 or Los Alamos. But in that segment, Mikhail has like the yellow pants and does all these Rodeo 7s at the events and Rodeo 5s. And
he got the Rodeo 5s and the yellow pants and spun.
Yeah, it's probably the same year, and like lands it and like has the illest reverts.
Yeah.
I remember at the time I was like already like recognizing just, I guess it's like afterbang. You would call it.
They had like the weird pointed poles, like Candied. They had like
big.
It was accentuated on the outrun, like how their poles pointed away from their bodies.
And he would always like land and be so casual and like relaxed, and he just like revert so smoothly. And this light close in.
Whoa.
So you're currently at the King's Foundation. How'd you get the invite to get to see the King? And just forewarning to everybody, Henrik's going to have to go and have a tea with the King in maybe 5 minutes, so we might have to cut the show short. But what's up?
Oh, we're that short today? We're only 5 minutes left?
Maybe, maybe no.
Or is the King going to come online?
Oh,
I think the King is coming through.
That'd be
the King
wicked.
of skiing.
That's wicked.
Yeah, we don't want to lose Henrik, but
I guess I just saw the picture of you posted with the King or the Queen. Oh, he's gone.
Oh shit, we lost him.
Fucking Secret Service for the King shutting down.
Wait a second.
Education staff.
Gonna try to find some better service or something.
It did look like he was in some underground parking.
Wait, I hear something.
Jewelry can say many things on your wedding day. As a wedding band, it can say, "This is a forever symbol of our forever love." As a gift to your wedding party, it can say, "Thanks for standing up there with us." Blue Nile can help you find the piece that says it all and says it beautifully, with expert guidance and a wide assortment of jewelry of the highest quality at the best price. Go to BlueNile.com and experience the convenience of shopping Blue Nile, the original online jeweler since 1999. That's BlueNile.com.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. With the price of just about everything going up during inflation, we thought we'd bring our prices down. So to help us, we brought in a reverse auctioneer, which is apparently a thing.
Mint Mobile Unlimited Premium Wireless. How to get 30, 30, bit to get 30, bit to get 20, 20, 20, bit to get 20, 20, bit to get 15, 15, 15, 15, just $15 a month? Sold!
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 up front for 3 months plus taxes and fees. Promo rate for new customers for limited time. Unlimited more than 40 gigabytes per month. Slows full terms at mintmobile.com.
Where are we going?
I'm trying to find better internet.
Oh.
Oh. I hear the King right here. Stepping in the building.
Yeah.
Y'all best believe
He's
he
real.
left the King of Sweden to come on the podcast with us
Real King.
tonight. And the B&E.
They back. They together. When's the last time you've seen it, people?
Boom! We seen
In
each other
real life.
3 years ago, and now we're all in together. And people, just to get the hype going even more, look at this live audience we got. We got the cream of the crop in the game. My man Soljulini, he been crushing for Henrik, myself, for years, doing the Henrik Harlaut apparel movie, Best Believe, Young Money, Tornator Wallace, Legendary, Jake My Show, The Magician, The Great Almighty,
they're all sad.
and last but not least,
Brady's not sad. He's all stoked.
Brady Perron, mesdames et messieurs, stand up. We're so hyped to be here with the king of free skiing. Yes, yes.
First house audience, eh?
Come and sit.
Put the music on.
First track that came up, not my choice. All right. Hey, people, we're so lucky to be together, the B&E.
Reunited.
This is the episode number 70 or something.
No, what would it be if you guys made one? Do you know your number?
If we counted all the Inspired Demo Tour ones.
Well, we put numbers at the
I
end.
would go like 13.
No,
Because
you're
12
way
was
past
like
that. You're in the 20s.
Be Yourself. And that was like the last like real official. Oh, I guess not a Things, Mammoth and stuff, but yeah, I don't know.
And Be Inspired, yes, that's a movie. Yeah, we'd go for 13 anyway. Let's just put it at that number. It sounds pretty proficient.
I disagree because we gave a number to each state for the demo tour, and that was like 12 through 19 or something. And so, like, you got into 23. If you go on the YouTube B&E Show channel, like, it has them all numbered at the end, like, behind each show. But you do have a 1.5.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, well, good to see you guys both together. Fucking now, we gotta get back to some Henrikstein because time will fly, man. It's already 3 o'clock. Got some soccer for some kids in an hour or so. But I guess
Yeah,
let's
where
go
we
to
at?
right when you. So we're at like 2001. You're like 10 years old. What was it that made you? You're into it now. You've been skiing in the park. You're all stoked. You have some people. First of all, what was the first movie you saw that you were super stoked on in skiing?
First, it was this Swedish company that made movies called Free Radicals. And they would make a year every year, or a movie every year. And it was basically just featuring the Swedish greatest talents. And the first like big international movie that I bought myself was Propaganda. That's the first like VHS that I bought that was like fully free ski dedicated. And I remember it
Who
so
is
well,
your first favorite like skier that you're like, this guy's the shit? Other than your brother.
For me, it was like pretty early. Like I remember my favorite was Tanner, and Oscar, my older brother, his favorite was CR. And yeah, like both in like Propaganda and Happy Days, as well as Subject to Change was the same year as Propaganda too. And that was like, but go back to I remember so well, like after, because me and my friends, the same age group as me, we all watched Free Radicals first for like basically 2 years, and we're like super hyped on that. But it was a lot of like off-piste free ride skiing, which wasn't like as interesting for us as like the park skiing, like because the park stuff was like the new fresh that we had never seen, or that I had never seen, and my homies didn't know too much about at the time.
In that movie, did they have a segment on that first Aura or wherever you guys are, Renscranson? Did they have a Renscranson QP segment like in the movies you saw in like 98 and 99?
It's and I can't tell you exactly the locations of Free Radicals because I never had it on DVD and only remember watching it on VHS basically up until I got Propaganda.
Yeah.
But then back to it. Like, I remember telling my homies, my friends in school, like, yo, I bought this crazy free skiing movie that you gotta come and check out. So I brought two of my homies, Christopher and Hugo, back home the next day. And I remember already after the intro, they were like begging me and were like, yo, you gotta let me borrow this movie. And I was like, no, I gotta have it for at least a week to like go through it, like back and forth. Already like after the intro, and then like when JP opener started, that was like, yeah, it was like so crazy and like insane for us to like see like a full ski movie. I was like, yo, this is like the illest of the illest. It's like skateboard but on skis.
Does Yoon stick out because he's Swedish and he's the biggest Swede, or is everyone kind of equal when you watch it as a little kid?
I thought maybe Yoon was the only one that was familiar with. So that maybe was like a little extra, like, ooh, like here he is. Yoon is like representing with all these other super pros, superheroes basically. And yeah, but pretty quickly, like Tanner was like my favorite. And then like probably only a week after I bought Propaganda, Oscar, my brother, bought Subject to Change. And Tanner is like in the closing segment in that one. And then that was like what was confirming with his whole intro and all that. It was like, and then by the next year when Tanner was in Happy Days closer and CR segment was incredible. So we would always like kind of like me and Oscar, my brother, would always be like, we had our favorite person and we would like almost like compete with each other, like who had the illest segment. Like when we got the Frontline Ski Movie 3 from Matchstick, then CR has the opening segment, and his segment might be even better than Tanner. So he would be like fronting on me, or be like flexing, like, yo, check this, CR is better than Tanner. And then, yeah, whenever Happy Days came, I was like, yo, bro, Tanner is better than CR.
That's so
like super wicked like that.
When you watch this then, like in this amaze and this into it right away, is it something you want to do at that young of age? Are you even thinking about it? Like I want to be like you, or I want to be like Tanner. Do you think about it yet in your life?
For sure.
Okay.
Like as soon as I saw the first Red Bull Big Air, when it was like iller than hockey, iller than alpine skiing, even iller than skateboarding to me at the time, it was like the illest of the illest. Then I was like, yo, this is what I want. These guys are like so cool, and I want to be just like them, basically. So then right away from that point on, it was like, I'm gonna do all the work I can to like give myself the best chances of becoming as good as they are. And then I was very fortunate too, because already when I was 10 years old, I went to Italy for an alpine race camp in the fall time. And then Jakob Wester, who was like a bit more into free skiing at the time, like was on this bus for 2 days with me and like fully like explained what this sport was all about and like how ill and how free it was, and like showed me some other movies that I hadn't seen yet, and like was telling me like also like on this trip to Italy you're gonna have to learn how to do a backflip. And this was like in 2001, so it was like maybe a year before everybody, including myself and my friends, got a trampoline. So I had like never done a backflip on anything before in my life. But he was like convinced, and he was like, yo, you have to learn how to do a backflip on skis on this trip. And then, yeah, somehow was able to like convince my alpine race trainers to give me some free time in the afternoon to go meet up with Jakob. And he had built a jump into the, like some powder snow or like side country. And yeah, I did it. Like the first 2 times, I landed on my stomach, and then waited, and then it was like end of the day, so we had to leave because it was on a glacier, like early season. And then on the last day, I had the chance like to leave a half hour early, and then I was like, all right. And I just basically stood on top for 30 minutes until it was like last minute, and Jakob was like, yo, I'm leaving, dog. I'm over this shit. Like, you are way too scared about this shit or something. And then I dropped in and I kind of landed it. I like backslapped, but somehow like skied out of it. And that was like the biggest confidence booster ever, because I didn't know anybody at the time, because it was like 2001. Didn't know any older friend or my brother's friend that could do a backflip even. So for me to be able to like do a backflip on skis was like,
you were a boss when you went home.
Yeah, for sure. So
is
big salute and thanks to Jakob Wester for that. And always like after that, I didn't do any backflips until he came up to Åre at like the Eastern break, so end of the season. And the first day he was like, have you done any backflips lately? And I was like, nah. And then, all right, you're going to have to do one today. And then I did it that day. And which was funny too, because like all my friends, because you didn't have like Instagram or video cameras at that time. So I had a photo from when I was in Italy, did the backflip. But my friends would like turn this photo upside down because it's all white out. And they're like, yeah, right, you didn't do that.
So you didn't even have the proof, man.
Until the end of the season, and then Jakob came up, and he was like, you got to do this backflip. And then I did it, and I remember so well, like, coming up to my home, he's like, yo, I told you I had done that. I told you I could do it. And, like, so boosted. And
so fun.
Yeah, it was great. So, like, always like that. Jakob was always living in Stockholm, but would come up on every winter or spring break or Eastern break. And every time he would come up, that would like boost me like crazy. Because it was like, yeah, my mentor, my first mentor. And
he's older than you, right?
It was so sick.
Jakob's a couple of years older than you?
He's 4 years older than me, yeah.
Okay. So I just looked at the time. I was like, holy shit, we could do a 10-hour thing here. So if I missed something here, Phil, but I got another fun question for Henrik, and then I'll let you charge in your awesome fucking skill questions. But so you came on this, to me, Henrik, you came on young. I'd say the place that you stamped your hello to the ski world was when you were 14 in Åre, when you did a switch 14, because like, oh my God, the 14-year-old did a switch 14. And that was dope, like how you did it, how everything, it was something that was talked about all around.
And like same year, it was like same season that TJ did it at US Open, which was like a big deal. So that was like a big motivator. Sorry to cut you off, but yeah.
No, that's a good fact, because this is 2006. So Henrik is 14 in 2006. TJ just won all major competitions with a Switch 14 mute. And then Henrik at the little kid up at a local contest, like, just comes out. Because that's when I originally got to meet you and hang out with you the most. You know, and like that was just a wicked time, and like to really see you, like, I don't know, I haven't seen any kid at such a young age, you know, like I saw maybe something comparable as when Sean Pettit was fucking 11 doing fucking cork 9s in a half pipe, where you're like, holy shit, what? You know, but like that was next level shit. I mean, you did what the X Games champion did. You know, you didn't. So like, I don't know, that's a big up you as a 14-year-old, and so like I want to make sure that's known. Because now, if we look at that 2006, you've been at the top of the game for fucking 16 years, man. 16 years. Like, and you only get better every year. So just want to make a big point out of that. So it's not just like being good at when you're young, but being consistent and keep going. So just want to point that one out, man. Big up yourself.
Thank you.
And he kept the trend going till his 16s, where in Le Diableret early season at a contest, he threw the switch 16-20 on his run, and obviously the champ took the gold, rocking it.
And that was what, the same year in the fall time?
16 years old, 2007.
Oh no, 2 more years.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So what would you say? So to me, I guess the intro to that story was also, that's when I saw, like, you're the real deal. Was there a point, like, when you were like, all right, I can be as ill as everyone, or iller? Like, did you, when you know what I mean? Like, when you're trying, because everyone wants to win or be the best. It's just a personal goal, not a competition goal. Was there a point when you knew that you could be? Or that you're like, hell yeah, let's go? Was there any one thing? Segment? Contest?
Yeah, like the first kind of click like that was when I was 13, actually. Even I went to my first US Open as a 13-year-old, so in 2005, and didn't do so well, but like I was there and got to see Tanner, CR, Yoon, Candide, like all the illest of the illest, and like that was like so wicked for me to watch that. But then I came back to, or like on that trip, I learned how to do cork nines in pipe, because that was the same year that Dubski came out, and I saw Sean Pettit do cork nine in pipe. So I was like, oh, this little dog is doing cork nines in pipe. I gotta learn how to do cork nines in the pipe.
Well, that's a fun fact too. We should tell people Sean Pettit and you are the same age.
He's 1 year younger.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, fucking nuts. Nuts. All right, go on. Sorry, man.
Yeah.
It's crazy how long you guys are in it.
So then I was like already like knew, yeah, that. And then I came back to Sweden, to Åre right after it, and they had a big quarter pipe competition where like the greatest of Sweden's free skiers and or like a lot of Norwegians were there. And somehow I ended up getting second in that comp, with Jakob in third and Henrik Winstedt in fourth. So that was like already like I got like a good amount like prize money, and was like with like the big dogs already like in a competition, and I was like, damn, like all right, it's starting to. Oh, I didn't maybe think at the time that was like starting to click, but now thinking about it after, that was like a huge confident booster, because that was like something like proven to myself that like it is possible to like go up against these top dogs.
And did you have equal love for the filming element right away as you did for the competing element? Was it the same shit because it was just fun, or were they different to you at all?
No, for sure in the beginning, for sure video was way iller.
Oh yeah, from the beginning, like when you're a kid, because everyone did everything kind of, right? Until right when you started.
But I would see like basically the competitions in the video segments is what kind of, because at the time it was like not really, I didn't have good internet or didn't know where to look for competitions or anything like that. So like maybe I could find out on a website where it said the rankings of a competition, but all my media that was like given to me was in the fall time from the ski movie productions that was like releasing ski movies, and that was like basically it for the beginning. And then somehow like I kind of figured out that like a good way to get into the ski movies is to do well in the competition, so you like you get a name for yourself, and that's how you get invited to like become part of the film productions. And that's kind of how I always thought of it in the beginning, like you got to do good in contests to get into the movies.
So you had a hip-hop style in the beginning, kind of like baggier clothes. Yoon and Jakob as well was following Yoon's trend, that you were following kind of their lead. But at some point, you broke the mold of like what a Swedish person should look like. And I'm curious to know how much resistance you got from like your peers and the country just in general in Sweden. How did you have resistance with the way you dressed in like people's regards and judgment?
Yeah, for sure, because it was like I was like super inspired by Tanner, Mikkel, and many others, but like those two were like the main source of inspiration that I was like pulling from. And they had like this baggier hip hop influence style, and a lot of Swedes was going to like a cleaner, nicer look, maybe. And maybe like Mikkel and Tanner started to have like certain reputation or whatever it's called.
Well, they were just extreme. To kind of explain it, they embraced a hip hop culture extremely. From the lifestyle of the music and the movies to the clothing to just the persona and attitude of the character. And that's why I say you're an entertainer, because you picked up the entertainment that Mikkel and Tanner do. They're entertainers at the highest level.
Yeah. And I like just didn't want to change that, because I loved what they were doing, and I thought they were the illest. And that's like what made me fall in love with skiing and fall in love with like the whole style. So I never wanted to change that. And still, it's like basically the style that I'm still rocking with, and I'm most influenced and inspired by when I see skiers ride with as well. I think it's like,
what do you think has held you back, having the style that you've chosen in life? What do you think you've missed out on opportunities because of it? Have you seen any opportunities, sponsorships, certain things because people didn't want to represent themselves with the style? Or no?
Short term, yes. I'm sure like there would have been like a lot of things that could have come in with like a lot of money or something like that, like contributing with that. But for myself, I definitely don't regret taking the decisions, because it's like was like built my own brand and like built my personality, which I am today, and like is real, you know, rather than just like changing for what they wanted or what the Swedes wanted to see at that time. And I just stayed true to like what I wanted to see and what I liked in skiing and what I was comfortable with. And so longevity wise, I think it has only helped me, but definitely like in short term, I think I probably could have like earned a lot of extra dollars on the side, but we're good. I'm happy, smiling, still skiing, so we're good.
We got Phil.
Yeah, and we thank him for that, right? Everybody's thankful for the authenticity that Henrik kept through it all. And I can attest to it. He's never changed, like, character-wise. He's just become a better and better person, really. Where we at as far as years now, it doesn't even matter on the timeline where we at, but I'm curious, like, right then and there, you pick up your first sponsor, perhaps, Scott?
Yeah, correct.
And then you got that link through maybe your brother, Oscar? Or how does that go about? How do you pick them up? Is it through a contest, or you send a sponsor me tape like we did back in the day? What is it?
I was lucky enough that the team manager of Scott just lived up the street from me. So I would probably run over to his house a little bit too often and tell him about every single new trick I had learned and show him every video whenever I got a video or anything. And like, yeah, even more than that, just like wanted to talk to him always about free skiing and like get to know more about the sport. And like at a very early age, like already when I was like 11, that's when he like basically got me on it to go to a Scott summer camp in Sölden, where they had a team camp and they would do like the photo for the new catalog and like new product. And yeah, so I was fortunate to have the Scott team manager living right next door, basically. and it was pretty easy from then on. And luckily he was like open-minded and like was into trying to bring me to Selden at an early age and meet the European team, where I met Laurent Favre, which was a huge inspiration early for me as well, because he was also very like hip-hop influenced and had like a certain baggy fly style that, yeah, and like an attitude that was like
big up Laurent Favre, because like he brought like the power to that, like whatever style you want to call it, hip-hop style. Like, man, he could lie into the bottom of ski hills and just fucking stomp. Big up Lolo.
Yeah. Big up Lolo.
Go sure. Big. And always, it was so sick. Like, I learned so much from Laurent the first years, because he would like, maybe like first run, I remember one particular moment was like, he show up to the park and he had like his sneakers in his hand and backpack on, and he would do like cork 9 to switch 10. And normally he would never spin that much. And then for the rest of the day, he would only do like switch 5s and cork 5s, cork 3, and maybe a switch 7, super big and stylish. And he like told me like right away that like, yeah, I just want to do it because I want to make sure I can do it. But I don't see, that's not my way of pursuing free skiing. Like my vision of free skiing is like slow, stylish spins. But it's like so ill to like see that in person already at like so young age and be like, yo, like you don't necessarily have to do or limit yourself because you can't do it. Like he was able to do like all this bigger spin, but he chose to like focus more on the execution and the style factor, which was like so inspiring.
And it's the same as Mikael, right? Like one's the only times you did like switch 9 or switch 10. It's like one year. So it's kind of reflects and goes into you. When do we see a nose triple? Maybe once a year.
Yeah, exactly.
We know you can do it. What do you got,
one thing that's very particular to Henrik, and also he owned it so much. Like I said in the beginning, he synthesized the MVPs. Like he got all his favorite and really incorporated the styles, the look, and really emulated at first, but then grew to having your own style. And I think you emulated all my favorite skiers at some point, but still kept it to you. And that's something I gotta tip my hat to you, because that's the best way to become the top tier, is to really take the best from everybody but stay you, authentic. And like, name some of these peoples that you have. You said Tanner, Mikael, Jakob Yoon,
Candide, Travis Heed, Tanner Rainville, Corey Vandler, Liam Downey, yourself, Lolo Favre. Yeah, there are so many though. Like I always feel bad when I start naming people because I
put you. It's my fault. I'll take the blame if I didn't name you. But
Mike Hornbeck, Ahmet Haddad. It goes on and on. Tom Warnick, Clayton Vila. Yeah, so many. Noah Albaladejo, and then these days, Isaac Simon, Valentin Morel, Crypto Skier, Pelapia Khan, M-Dub.
That's why he's the best. He knows them all off the top of his head, and he could also recite any lyrics to a part, or any spoken language in a part. I remember he showed up to Tanner and just recited Tanner's intro to Teddy Bear Crisis from top to bottom. And to get people familiar with it, Tanner was talking about his season that year, about blowing up. Henrik could say right now, all of it, you know what I mean? So, student of the game to the fullest extent. And I have no questions to follow up. This is just really to give people the
I
perspective.
got one.
Iberg, come on, hit us.
When you're at this point, what segment? Like, what was your first segment where you're like, oh fuck yeah? You know, like say like Tom Walsh, we could probably guess it's his super unknown or whatever the edit was. Did you have an edit or a segment level 1 or something like this, or even before them Hazen boys? You know, I think that was before level 1. I'm not sure, but did you have something that you put out that you're like, oh fuck yeah, this is the illest? Let's keep
For
doing
myself?
Yeah, for you. What was your first segment where you were the most proud of it?
Probably Slamina, 4x9 Media in 2008. That was like my first breakthrough, I would say, in a way, where it would like caught eyes of like Tanner Hall and other people. And it was like I didn't do so well at the time yet in competitions, but I like got to spend a lot of times with the guys out in Utah, 4x9 Media. Give thanks to the whole 4x9 house and everybody living in there. And yeah, I was able to like win Amateur of the Year and like probably Amateur Trick of the Year or something at the IF3 festival in Montreal, which was pretty big of a deal at the time. And the very, very coolest thing about it was too, I had just hung out with you and Tanner in New Zealand like a week or two before.
Yeah.
And Tanner won Pro Athlete of the Year and then walked up on stage and he was like saying like some shit. I remember being home and like watching on the live stream and Tanner was like, yo, I don't really deserve this award, and somebody that do deserve it is Henrik Harlaut. And that was like a super, super big, like humbling, crazy, like I fully like cried and it was like, no way, like he's like up there, like accepting Pro Athlete of the Year. And it's like the biggest idol I got. And he telling everybody that I deserve it. But just that 4x9 was in the amateur category at the time. But so already then it was like a big, big breakthrough and crazy moment for me.
Yeah, that's not a normal cosign. That wicked. Super wicked.
Yeah. And then the next year after that, I got to shoot. I was like in 8 different movies and had like a full part with level 1, full part with 4x9, a closer again in the 4x9 movie, and was in the intro of Poor Boys, had a full part or a part in Rage Films, Activation Project, Field Production, and I was like able to like win the European Open, Aspen Open, Monster Park Invitational. So it was like from the movie part or like being with the guys from 4x9 Media in 2008 filming for Slamina, that like fully escalated my whole career and my mindset of like kind of like, yeah, just put in the work and like get ill.
So here's where we are. It's 2009. This is why everyone knows both your faces. And this is why you both deserve flowers. It's a B&E show. So I'm going to say thank you to both you guys. As probably the whole sport does. B&E shows were absolute shit. That's a big reason why we got together and made them as big as we could and built out the B&E whole of demo tours, events, and all. Like, so I guess I just first want to thank you guys both, you know, for doing the B&E show. That's why everyone's probably tuned in right now. So I think it could be a fun right now because it's interesting to everyone. People have questions about B&E shows, movies, futures, anything. It might be a good time to ask because this is one of the illest things that both you guys brought to the sport. And what I think is the dopest shit that people can bring to the sport is when they do it with the crew or together, because it's not just about putting one person on a pedestal, making me an expensive sponsor me video or movie. And so you guys were a crew. It's like Tanner, if Tanner and CR ever organized and made just a Tanner and CR show. And then we got to see you guys come and bring this flavor that was like fucking hell. So I don't know if there's any questions. Or Phil, if you want to bring anything up about B&E with Henrik and what it meant to create it with you guys, or because this is a unique experience to talk about the whole thing and why, like, why you guys look back at it and think it was important looking back, because that's what's interesting. I think it was huge important for the sport, you know, but mine's biased. I mean, I wanted to work with you so much, but, you know, how do you guys see it looking back at it and like what you guys want to do?
Thank you so much for the good words. In the first place, I always felt your way that combined, when we get together, we can move things forward much easier and also have greater power and satisfaction from what we build. And so connecting with someone that was so naturally drawn to the same music, art, style, way of speech, idols as I was easy. Henrik, him and I found each other really like by circumstance. It was never really planned. And then we built it. We built the show from Meth and Red based off that concept of a duo going hard on skis. And I got to fast forward back to where we connected with you and Tanner, and you guys put us on because that was for our fourth and maybe still our most acclaimed and favorite episode, Muddy Winter. And we got together. Do you remember when we were in Annecy and we met Iberg and Tanner, and they asked us to be on Inspired?
Yeah, for sure. And I remember even like the week before, I was like at Freestyle CH, and I like brought up the idea quickly to Tanner and maybe Iberg as well, and like said that like, what if we would just join the B&E? But then we didn't really talk about it more. But then for sure at Annecy the next week, I remember like, yeah, you, Iberg, and Tanner came up and like approached us and was like, yo, what if you guys use our or like come along with our platform and we help you guys grow this super duo? And it was like the wickedest ever, because it's like finally like we're gonna like when we first met Iberg, for me at least, like the first thing I told you, and I would send emails to you every time like, yo, I want to be in your movies, I want to be so then like when you approach us like, this is how we can work together, like finally it's like time, let's get this going.
And that's one of the sick things too, like for me, part of that story is, you know, like you first started writing me emails like 2005, and then we thought that was like 2011, 10, you know, and so it's fun because it took 7 years for us to figure out a way to work together. And so like to be able to allow you guys to do whatever you wanted, because that's all I did as a filmmaker. I just allowed my friends to make whatever movies they wanted. So now it's kind of like, no way, you guys are a crew, like you want to make these edits online. Those are the boom minutes that you're watching with Tanner and fucking Henrik. They're wicked. Shot them with this awesome camera. Tori let us borrow. So yeah, I don't know, that B&E. So like, going back to that, I guess someone keeps asking about Muddy Winters and how you guys were ahead of the game on presses and ollies. I don't know what that guy's question is, but he's brought it up 3 times. So at this time in the game of the nollies and ollies and presses, was there other people doing it at this time? Or were you guys starting to try stuff no one else did? Or did you guys see your friends doing it? Or what was it at that time? If that was your question, guy, in the comments.
I think that was like, at least in my opinion, like the first time where we kind of tried to go beyond what other people had done. Like up until that point, at least for myself, speaking for myself, I had like basically just try to like catch up with my favorite skiers and like try to do what they have done before and like make it as ill as possible. And like, but at that point, that was like when we got together and we were like really like watching a lot of snowboarding, watching a lot of skateboarding, and we like seeing like what should be possible to do on skis, but we haven't seen yet on skis. And I remember it was like the illest formula and illest. We had the illest rhythm of shooting that video as well, because we shot it all ourselves, like trading the camera off to each other, and basically we'd like focus on like doing 1 or 2 trick a day and just get them as nice as we possibly could, so we never had to repeat that trick another day or whatever. So it's like full on focus, like full execution. It does, yeah. And like back to like the presses and stuff, like I don't think, yeah, we just tried to do what we hadn't seen before. And Phil was the master, so I was like right next to the master, like watching this guy like being so insanely skillful. So it was like easy for me to just like, yo, I gotta step my shit up and try be half as ill as he is. And that like pushed me a lot.
White
Yeah, the
Flag
feeling was
was asking
definitely
how
mutual.
you guys got into reggae and dancehall music, because Road to Zion is his favorite movie.
Is your favorite movie?
No, question.
Here, let's shout you out.
White Black.
White Black's Music 7 is asking you how you got into reggae and dancehall music. Road to Zion was the shit. True indeed.
It is true.
Basically, from ski movies, like Royalty had a lot of reggae music, and yeah, a lot of my favorite ski segments growing up had reggae music. Back to Los Alamos too, with Mikkel's segment was also a reggae song, and dancehall as well.
And let's not forget, Candide made Rastafari 1 through 6. So,
Yeah.
like, if you loved
And I had all
Candide, you pretty much were into reggae and dancehall because of Candide and Mikkel.
And then I was just like super inspired and loved those movies as well. And then I figured like up until that point, mostly all of my segments had been with hip hop music. So then I thought it was going to be a good change to switch it up and go with a full-on reggae dancehall soundtrack for that project. And I knew it going into that season. And yeah, it was a good time.
What else we got? Anyone have a B&E question?
We're looking for them here. I'm scrolling through some the audience. This is when you come in hot with the king right here on my right side. Maybe your left to the people here. Did you grow up with a coach, Dolo, or a mentor? You kind of touched on Jakob earlier.
Yeah. No, never had a coach. It never like existed, I don't think, even in Sweden, to have like, we didn't have a free ski academy until like Sochi Olympics. That was like when all that started, and I was like 22 at that time. So that's like my first time of getting a coach. But so no, I never grew up with like a dedicated person that told me or like had as a occupation or a job to teach me how to ski. But I was definitely surrounded by a lot of good skiers and good friends that I took inspiration from and that was very influenced by. So I was definitely very fortunate to have so much flavor around me to like watch in person, to try imitate and get inspired from, to like create my own.
How did that dynamic affect you with you being a part of a team and having a coach when you did, when skiing got involved in the whole Olympic program? Did having a coach make you see things differently?
Not for me personally, because I had like, with the two coaches that the Swedish team I've had like relationships with before even they became a coach or anything.
Because
Like
they were pros before, right? Your coaches?
Yeah. Patrick was mogul skier and then like a professional free skier at some point too. And he was like also my like teacher in school for like trampoline class kind of when I went to like high school and was like more specific into like it was called winter acrobatics, and that was like the only that you could choose at the time. And so he was always like I never had like a coach that was like necessarily a coach, more just a person that was there like making stuff a bit easier for like traveling, booking lodging, and like just be trying to like hype me up, because that was like. And with after that, like when Patrick was done, Nicholas Eriksson came in, who is a good friend of mine that's like only 1 year older than me, that grew up skiing with a bunch and have skied with a lot. So our relationship is like way beyond coach and skier kind of. And all I like basically need is somebody to be like hyped or be stoked around me, and that I can like vibe off and like have a good time with, rather than like he's never gonna like try like tell me how to do a certain tricks differently than I see it. He's gonna like for sure he would like, if I ask him like, could you help me figure out some shit, but that doesn't really happen. We just like balling ideas back and forth with each other, like bouncing back and forth, and like just trying to like have a homie that's around that's like all hyped up.
Yeah.
Cause I never grew up with a coach, and I think a coach would only I don't know if it would do me so well because of like how rebellious and like I always been with that stuff.
So I want to go back to B&E, but then I want to go to contest because that's somewhere we definitely have to make sure it's giving your love on that one. But B&E, biggest question is, are you guys ever making another one?
That's right, goddammit.
So if you're on
your computer screens in a year from now, a year and a half perhaps, and we will provide you with the stuff that'll make your arms chill, goosebumps, your hairs on the back of your neck pop up. You ain't ready.
So are you making
reunited?
A movie? A movie.
We're not yet committed to the movie idea.
Can't give out too much information yet, but it's 100 happening.
So 100, we have to wait a year and a half before we get something B&E. That's when the B&E Art Entertainment comes out.
Well, if we are lucky, we can do it earlier than that. But something like that.
Awesome. Well, now you know.
But thanks for asking, man.
Yeah, I'm stoked to see it, whatever the fuck it may be. And then, you guys ever gonna do a B&E Invitational again?
That would be so awesome, for sure. Because the reason, like, kind of why we stopped doing it was, like, just not spending as much time together anymore. With me, definitely like prioritizing or like spending more time with and like competitions and like going into trips that was like close and like fitting for the schedule with the competing, and Phil doing the full-on film fantastic magician stuff. So then like it wasn't like personal enough where we had time together where we could like plan out, like make it exactly how we wanted it to be. And so that's why we had to take a little break from it. But now that maybe we're gonna, or hopefully gonna be able to spend more time together again, we'll have time to mind elevate together and brainstorm and come up with the finest B&E concept ever. That's my dream scenario, at least.
Wicked.
Yeah, we're too. We're definitely gonna do so, and prepare for the whole Wu-Tang to be there. Yada yada. Things are gonna pop off once again. Goosebumps. And thank you so much, Rick, for going the B&E route. But let's go back to our main man here, who we're giving flowers to, Dolo. And a big part we don't want to miss. I'm not sure where you wanted to start with the contest. Let's hear where your head was at with the competition.
Just dominance. You are the most decorated, most winning skier that's for twin tip on all levels. You know, there might be some more if we want to just take a World Cup skier. But if we look at all elements, you know, you don't have half pipe. That's true. But everything else, man, in the competitive realm, you're above and beyond in slope style and big air, rail cams, stuff like this over your whole career, over 16 fucking years. And not only that, but like when you win, it's not because you landed the trick you've been working on for a couple of years and you finally had the great day. It's because you land a couple tricks that you just learned and then you dominate. So a big part I just want to say is, like, as a fan and looking at your stats and the careers competitive twin tip skiing, like, you are the best, man. Like, like it's either you're crashing or you're winning. And like when you go out, like you have a style that you've only been able to be judged against yourself for the last 10 years. No, I don't even know. My biggest only question before Phil goes is how long you did a nose butter triple in 2013. When was the next time that someone did a nose butter triple in a contest? Like at least right? At least 2018?
2018, yeah, I believe. In a contest, at least. I don't even know, yeah.
So my point being is I want to say big up yourself on that, because there's no other trick that people can stop, slow motion, rewind. That's a champion trick that even you yourself knew you could just do it once a year. And no one could learn it because it's too goddamn scary. So, like, that's one example I have, man. But I just want to say there's no other person in the career of our sport that have ever been able to show what they have and not have people be able to emulate it next year. It's crazy. Monster.
Next year and beyond.
Thank you.
So, yeah, Phil, I just wanted to big him up on, like, what he's accomplished and, like, decorations, and then not only just winning medals, but, like, look at what he brings to the table when he does win the medal. It's always memorable, and it's always, like, even if you don't win, man, you're still the winner. Fucking that's what the dope shit is every contest. So
yeah, it relates to beyond skiers. I'm sure, like, anybody tuning in on the X Games channel and seeing Henrik Landon smile as big as the Atlantic Ocean, just barking at the camera, throwing up the W, shouting out all the skiers that influenced them. They're tuned in. They've never seen skiing before, but that's the kind of people he attracts to the sport. And the bridge he's made, the connections go way beyond, and that's, like, something very, very cool that he brought to the table and to my life as well, is the Wu-Tang connection. How does this first happen? How do you get in the circle of the Wu? Because you got, like, to meet 4 or 5 of the members by now.
Everybody. Except Old Dirty.
everyone. Have you even met Cabadonna?
Yeah. I went to Berlin. Mustafa got me to go to Berlin in 2015 after I broke my collarbone, and I got to go backstage their, like, gilling room, and yeah, he was there.
Wicked. Now that I think about it, I gotta meet everyone.
Answer Phil's question. I guess it, like, came up just, like, pretty crazy, like a lot of things, like, where you don't plan it at all, but just being at Olympics in Sochi and landed my run in the final and just threw up the W and said Wu-Tang is for the children as, like, the quoting Old Dirty Bastard from the Grammys in 1998. Oh, no. Oh, maybe it is 1998, I think.
Time
when
flies.
he interrupts and goes on stage that Wu-Tang should have won. He bought a fat outfit and all this. And it is still one of my favorite clips. And I don't know why that was in my head at the Olympics when I landed my run, but I don't know. My head like goes 1,000 miles an hour when I get mad, adrenaline, and like super hyped. So I'm just like, yeah, I don't know. And then somehow came about to say that Wu-Tang is for the children. And a lot of the Wu-Tang members recognized it and, yeah, was appreciated.
I went and bought me an outfit today that costed a lot of money today. You know what I mean? Because I figured that Wu-Tang was going to win. I don't know how y'all see it, but when it comes to the children, Wu-Tang is for the children. We teach the children. You know what I mean?
Puffy is good, but Wu-Tang is the best.
You know what I'm saying?
And then your Instagram pops up. Like, is that how they first connect to you? Instagram.
Yes, I remember Method Man wrote on like Twitter, and like You God on Twitter, and like RZA through Instagram. So it's like a little bit, many different connections that was like coming through. But it was like basically just because of that happening. I didn't even like get on the podium or anything, but just that one video clip caught a lot of heads.
No, you probably got the most press.
It was crazy.
And we even swept as an American podium. And it's still, you got more press because of the like tabloid magazines. Olympian says Wu-Tang, loses his pants. Like, it was crazy to watch, just for like to see where it all went, just from fucking. And what'd you get, 4th or 6th?
6th.
Okay.
Yeah, it made no sense, man.
Made no sense, man.
Still a gold medal run to me.
Me too.
Check out this reaction.
Great way to start him. Now he's got a score in the bank. Now in this next run, he can just go for it. And he's the kind of guy that will. Very nice, Henrik.
Wu-Tang is for the children. Him saying Wu-Tang is for the children.
That's right, man. That's the type of people I'm talking about reacting to Dolo.
Well, dude, it was so big. In Facebook, you could type in to get a little image. You could type in Wu-Tang is for, and it'd be a picture of Henrik. And it would pop up, and you could use him as like a little, gift, or whatever the fuck they're called.
GIF. I don't know how to say it, but GIF.
Yeah, GIF, like the peanut butter with a G.
Yeah.
And then you collab on a helmet with a member of the Wu-Tang, Master Killer.
Yeah.
Well, who was the first Wu-Tang member you met?
Like, with Raekwon. It was happening the CL95 deal together with you, and then we talked about it earlier. Then like we go to Minnesota to watch Raekwon and Ghost perform.
That's where we met Dylan.
Oh yeah, exactly. What I was just gonna get to. As the opener act is Dylan Cooper, and we all like, who is this dude? This dude is super fly. And then
check out Dylan Cooper.
Him right after, and we're like, yo, we got this event called B&E Invitational later this spring, and we gonna have a live performance, a live act. Would you like to come and do the live performance? We would love to have you. And then he was like all about it, super hype, came out, and then got to meet him, got to meet Staten Island, and I think Staten Island was the one that got him like on Armada, and now he's actually out here in Kleppen in Sweden skiing.
I saw him hit a jump today on Kimbo fucking Insta.
Yeah. And yesterday he was like pizza, today straight feet, French fries, doing safeties.
He should be good, man. He rollerblades. It should be like by the end of the week, he should be doing tricks, man. I seen him on the blades on the interweb.
Yeah. so cool to see that progression, and he's all hyped. He like showed us all like that he had been up until 4 a.m. watching tutorials how to make a carve on skis, how to hit a jump, how to do a 360, and like he was hooked.
Awesome. Fucking awesome. Just in the Arctic, hanging out in northern Sweden, learning how to ski and jump. What else we got, Phil? So you're fucking the man, early age, fucking the man, contest domination, movie segments. I guess looking back, other than your first banger movie segment, my question, because that's another thing you have to be celebrated with. Like, you probably have like 50, 60 movie segments, and then you take it to the next level, like the Tanner and Pollard and all these people, you start making your own projects now. And now you've evolved your own projects into even promoting of your clothing company, which we'll get into, another awesome thing that you're doing. But in all the shit that you've been part of and like created on film, is there a segment or film where if like you had to only pick one and show your grandkids and be like, man, this is how dope I was? Do you have like, I mean, how would you, do you have anything that sticks out for whatever personal meaning or actual skill set that you performed or whatever?
I don't want to take it. I don't want to influence your decision, but I'm going to throw mine out there, and I want to hear yours before his. But I'd go the educational style, Henrik Harlaut.
Yeah, that's fucking the banger of all time, where you go, holy shit, did someone just get 3 songs to close a movie? Because we took a traditional movie and then gave them 3 full. And it was the craziest machine gun thing I've ever seen for like 9 minutes. So that one, I agree with you. But if I was to pick, I go, how the fuck do you make a 43-minute mixtape like Road to Zion? Because when I looked at that, I go, holy cow, man, I just watched a time capsule of a whole season, contest included, with a contest segment. And not only that, like, I got to see who he was, man. So those are, I agree with Phil, but like when we look at the production piece, you produced Road to Zion. So it was your hands in every single thing that presented you. Now it's your turn, Henrik.
This next one, they're coming out this fall, maybe.
Oh, yeah? Wicked.
Nah. But maybe. But I think maybe even the regiment that I did in 2018, 2017.
So that was your first like solo production big style one.
Yeah. Because it has also like the interviews, interludes, in between skit style, kind of, where I think it shows a lot of my personality as well. So if I would try to show like who I was or what I was doing, and like showcases that pretty well, and like shows like how kind of crazy I'm about skiing, or how crazy I was in that case in whatever 50 years.
I'm gonna go watch it again now then.
Yeah,
I like that one. But yeah, educational style was super big for me too, because I definitely like slamming. I was like so big, and then it was like my refresh segment was really good as well, and my So Far So Hood the next year. But it was like kind of hard to live up to like the slam and a hype in a way. I felt like educational style was the first one that was like, for me and like other people, like somewhat equal to like that, whereas like I was like more becoming my own, or like getting into my own, or like where it wasn't just like a super influenced kid that was like very good, or I don't know, even like had a good skill set. Like now all of a sudden like I had my own style and like my own tricks even. And yeah, so that was big for me. Road to Zion as well, like what you said, it was just a packed season and everything worked out, from competition to filming, and first time like kind of skiing more backcountry and stuff. This trick that Phil is showing right now is probably one of my best trick I ever done, I think, still, and never try to repeat.
You won trick of the year with that, didn't you? With a double.
Yeah. Best man-made air at Powder Awards.
My highlight, just to tangent, was, so that's 2012. You won Best Man-Made Air. In 2007, Fuhas won in the exact same location, but a step down for Idea, the backflip tail 180. And so it was kind of fun that 5 years later, fucking same location, add a flip and fucking give it a hip.
Yeah. And it's like one of those only tricks that I've only done once and never really felt like I could really do too much better. Just the way I capped the blunt and boosted it, and just being in the backcountry. And yeah, I never really wanted to do it because I was like, yeah, that was my vision. I had thought about doing that trick when I went to the water ramp with you in like 2009. I did that trick the whole summer, and this was in 2012, so this was like 3 years later of just thinking about it and like wanted to do it whenever. I remember always when I was hanging out with Hornbeck, I was like, I'm gonna do a dub 7 blunt that's like ill. The blunt roll. And yeah, so that was like super, super big for me. And yeah.
So movies.
Zion, Be Inspired too. Like Be Inspired together with Phil is like a special piece to me as well. Like just the duo, the way like we fed off each other, going to a spot and never hitting the spot the same way. Like we always found a way to hit every street spot differently. For example, I hit this like fence and jump over into the bank. Phil comes from the bank up to the fence and then back and up to this like huge ledge. We green flat down. I hit like just gapping to the down. Phil hits the full flat down. Red ledge. I hit down flat. Phil hits flat down flat. And like just the whole vibe, and like it was so ill.
Yeah, that movie's wicked. I still watch it. You can like close your eyes. You can listen to the music. You can mute the music. Watch it. It's like epic on every level.
Yeah. The soundtrack.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. They'll do a little Sizzla and Cormega, and you go, what the fuck? Massacre, the most underrated track on the whole movie, and you really understand who Massacre is and what he really said, and you're like, oh my god. So, it's just nuts.
Flower must be given to Iberg here, everybody, because the soundtrack he pulled for this movie is beyond what fucking Kanye West could do these days. DJ Khaled ain't got shit on Iberg.
It was fun. Big up everyone. Big up Walshy Fire. Big up that soundtrack. I mean, we had like 100 people involved. You know, but same with the movie. Like, how many filmers? You know, like Stojan and like all these crews, and then like, I don't know. We just had a lot of dope ass people that came together and made dreams happen. Stojan, man.
Shout out to Brady.
Yeah, Big Bad Brady in the house too, man. Everyone's still there, man.
And then, yeah, even like that closing segment song with CJ Fly and Randy Valentine. I feel like I can pull up that song to anybody. Like when I'm in Andorra and hanging with people that don't necessarily ski, but like, yeah, are just like hyped up. If you put on that Zion song, people get hyped.
Yeah,
it's
that
so
song.
beautiful and like fitting to anybody. I feel like.
Agreed.
It's a great one.
Randy Valentine, CJ Fly. Check them out if you don't know them.
And the closing trick here is the same like the educational style, where I never tried to do it again because I kind of got it nicely and never felt like doing it again.
Next trick coming up.
The right dub 9 truck.
You've never done that again?
No.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
This is a thing of pure beauty.
First try. Then it was like, all right.
So that was your first and only try in your life?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you. Got lucky. First angle too is so sick. B-mill shot.
I like that one. It looks like you have an elongated head.
Yeah, because I have the like Rasta hat over my helmet.
Resi tip on another level.
Oh, no, Poe.
Yo, that's how you close a fucking movie and make people scream. And shot by a man that's right here, too. Once again, big up to Stork.
Stojan, man. Eating eggs and stuff, breaking out.
Yeah, he's been eating eggs.
So we got contests we did. You know, another big thing is I want to celebrate you with is like starting Henrik Apparel, man. You know, a big thing is to create the culture and make sure it goes forward. The people that get to certain places need to create things, right? Like you've helped putting out like certain people on, you know, like people on your team and giving them your platform and then creating a product now that they can wear that kind of represents what you want to bring to the sport. So I just want to say big up yourself on that, man, on Harlaut Apparel. If no one knows about it, make sure you check it out. It's on Henrik's page or just check out Harlaut Apparel because Henrik you could take money. You could just take money, you could win money, you could sign contracts, someone could pay you, and you held your integrity for your style, not just signing with anyone over your career, and then finally when the time's right, like you created something. And it's for the sport. I mean, that's what you still do. So it needs to be successful and needs to be cool. Otherwise, it makes you not so successful and cool. So I just want to say, Henrik, congratulations, man. Hope you and your brother fucking kill it. I think what you do is amazing. And, you know, it'd be sweet if a lot more athletes kind of followed suit that are in the limelight, that are the leaders in the sport at the time, not after they're not the man. So thanks, Henrik. Appreciate what you do.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much for the super kind words. And it's, yeah, a big, big thanks to my brother Oscar for basically running the whole thing. Like, yeah, everything from all the shipping to all the designs, everything basically, the whole website. And he's like never done any of that before really, but he definitely killed it. And I'm so proud of him, so thankful of him. And it's like has been the sickest journey and adventure ever. Like exactly what you said, like it could have definitely like signed and like gotten a lot of dough from other bigger companies, but nothing would ever pay the joy and the excitement of like being able to produce something and see all over the world and like people representing and like it's part of that culture and like growing and help like other people's too like grow and like yeah.
Well, how many dope people I think too? Another
the platform to other people like all the skiers and stuff too, like that doesn't necessarily stand on top of podiums because that's not like what I think is like the best skiers. Like the people that are on the team and stuff, they represent it so well and like have their whole personality, their style and like their uniqueness, which I support and I want to like try help as much as I can. And that would be the goal and dream in the future to like even grow it bigger and like be able to like support them further than even now.
Yeah, and that's another thing other than your company, you know, like the platform. You know, it's like I gotta watch Tanner like give it to like guys like Sean and Kai and like bring them on places and now see what you do because I get to learn about so many dope ass riders through Harlaut Apparel and through skiing with you. You know, like whether it's Noah or Easy Panda, you know, and a couple other homies on your team that are fucking wicked. You know, it's I don't know, it's awesome to see someone share their platform. And not just by creating a production company that they get to be in their movie. You know, so like you took it to the next level. You created a company as well as a movie for the outlet for these guys. So pretty fucking wicked, man.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let's get a round of applause for Henrik Harlaut. Harlaut Apparel.
Hala hala gang, hala hala gang. Whoop whoop.
And at this point,
I got about one doobie in me, and then battery's dead, and it is soccer time.
Yeah, all right, good. Then let's. I guess we ain't even touch on Salute, which is the the art of flight of skiing, maybe a bad comparison, but just to say, like, it's paradigm shift and shit. Like, Henrik did the most crazy shit and also produced at a high level. So that movie, if y'all ain't check it out, he ain't giving it out for free, and he shouldn't. So y'all might not have seen it, but people, go and support real fucking skiing. What is next for the Dolomites?
B&E movie, 1.5 years.
Huh?
B&E movie, 1.5 years.
That would be great. But right now, this season, the Harlaut Apparel team, we've gotten together again, and we shot more than we did last year. They shot a bunch while I was like, basically up until Olympics, I was like full on like contest or like preparation, where it was like, I like just wanted to go to Olympics and get a medal because it was my third time, and yeah, felt like it was time to like try get something out of, a medal out of it would be great. So I would just do everything I could to like try reach that goal. And meanwhile, the rest of the squad went around Europe and went to Bosnia to hit streets. And then as soon as I was done, I linked up with them and we went for another month and a half of street. And then now we're here in Kimbo sessions, Armada Week in Kleppen, and then we're gonna finish off with a little bit of Riksgränsen in northern Sweden. But yeah, that's our project for this year, which I think is gonna turn out super nice. We definitely have a full concept and idea behind it already going into it. And yeah, hopefully it's gonna be out for free on YouTube. So please check it out in October, November, whenever it drops.
Nice. What's the name of it?
I don't know, actually. We have a few different ones, but no official yet. But then next year, I'm gonna have a little break from like World Cup and like crazy competition season to like finally try prioritize film skiing, the film aspects. Because yet I have done that in my career, and like I've definitely like have prioritized competitions and like done filming on the side. And this time, or right now, I just like want to see, like I want to give myself the opportunity to like progress and get as good at skiing as I possibly can, basically, and just film a lot and have a lot of fun and a lot of freedom. But yeah, like basically mainly like just the fact of being able to like progress myself further as a skier, because when you go from competition to competition, it's like pretty tight and hectic, where you play into your strengths in a way. Like you practice your new stuff in the beginning of the season, and then hopefully like a big air night of X Games, you can pull out something that you've been mind elevating for a few months. But other than that, it's like about like doing what you can do already, but do it the best you can, and then recover in between each week to like,
do it again.
Perform all these like super crazy maneuvers. And so it's always like limiting the progression in a way. And I just want to like have the time where I can like not have to like worry about being like, get ready for the next week, because then I'm gonna do like this crazy competition, and then or the next 4 weeks straight of crazy competition.
You gonna do the next Olympics?
We'll see.
Do you want to?
It'd be fun if I feel like it. Yeah. Like if I feel as like hyped for it as I did this time around. But that's like gonna be part of it too. Like, so I think I'm hopefully gonna do like 2 years of no World Cups. Hopefully X Games if they invite me, I would love to do that, like as my annual competition.
I hope they
Try to
invite you
lap.
too.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
But yeah, just like to like even have more of like the feeling too. Like if I get away a little bit from the World Cup and all that, I feel like in 2 years, if I feel like it, that's gonna be like an extra motivator to like get back and like, all right, let's get ready. Like 2 years, get ready for like another Olympics, and that would be like a super motivating factor that would like get me hyped up to like try work extra hard. And then also have had 2 years of like more freedom and more skiing and more creativity and prioritizing filming, like I said. But so nothing set at all, but yeah, we'll see. I think I can do it if I feel like I want to do it. But it's all about that. That was like the biggest difference this time around that ever had at a big event like that, like at Olympics, at the big air event. I remember about to drop into my third run, standing on top, and just looking down the ramp, and just like, normally in a situation like that, like I was in 4th place, trying to break into a podium position. And normally in a situation like that, you like almost want to escape it because it's like so nervousing or like so intense and so crazy. But this time around, when I was standing there, I remember it so well. Just like looking down the ramp and being like, yo, I'm so appreciated for this moment, and was like taking in the moment a lot. Like, this is like exactly where I want to be right now. And like was like feeling for it, like definitely like so happy to be in that moment, that at that particular time. And it's like, all right, it's on. I'm just gonna do the best nose putter triple safety that I ever done. I'm not trying to complicate it more. I'm gonna go more for perfection rather than progression, and just showcase my style, showcase it at the first Olympic big air event ever, like my signature trick in a way. And I was like so comfortable and happy in the place. And that's like how I want to be able to feel if I go back to another Olympics.
So what place did you end up?
Third.
Third. You ended up third in 22. 10 event years after 2013 nose butter triple winning. That's fucking wicked, man. Like, think about what first and second were doing 12 years ago. You're just like it's just wicked. I don't even think it's comparable. I can only say it so many times, but like the fact you're so far ahead and you're so young, it's so fun to watch. And like just the smartness you do with your body and conditioning, and like how you approach the sport, like going back to Phil and like when he started, and you knowing your history and everything like that, man, it's pretty amazing. And it's super fun to do this conversation because the fact is you could have another 14, 16 years of awesomeness. So I hope I get to see
Hopefully.
that shit. Yeah. No, I mean, like, you're on the right point. Mentally, physically, everything, man. It's pretty awesome to watch. And need more of you, and then that sport's guaranteed for everyone in the future.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
The fans want it. Never quit. And I know he will never, because skiing is not a job. It's not something he can quit. Skiing is Henrik Harlaut.
It's true.
And I told you in the beginning, if the sun got a pair of skis, that'd be Henrik. Powerful, magnetic pole.
He would melt us all.
Gravitates around the one and only star in the solar system, Idolo. We got him right here, and it was so nice to get together and do this chat. Thanks, Rick. I think we're going to land this plane, but let's have one more person question before we do so. Shoot him.
One more question?
Yeah, an audience question. Could be Quinn or Jake, too. On blast.
Fondom phenomenon.
Question. What's fun? What did I ask Henrik that I've never known?
Okay, we got one. How did we meet, Dolo?
Very first time was in Vail, U.S. Open, but that was just riding up the lift. I knew Alexei Gadbout from Ripco Freeski in Le Diableret. I had met him, and Phil knew him as well, both being from Quebec. And we just rode up the lift once together. But then 2 years later, we both went to Lax for European Open. And like the first meeting kind of thing, I think, was like in the rail park that they have with just the Palmer lift. I remember seeing just this dude with Oakley O-frames, like kind of like denim, orange kit, just the flyest lip tools, unbuckled helmet, and just like, wow! I remember it so well, seeing it still from standing at the bottom, and he's like looking like a Laurent Tevnet mixed with a Michael Deschno, and like I like would imagine it was them, but like with the skill of like the better than pretty much anybody. Nobody had a lip tool looking like that at that time. And it was like on Armadas, and not so that was like the only separation, because Tevna and Deschno was on ninth ward, and if not, I would have thought probably it was them, but maybe not even because of the technicality like crazy that Phil had. But yeah, I remember just like stand and like giving him props first, and he was like, "Holy dude, who, what?" And then like later at night, we both stayed at the Riders Palace, and yeah, me being kind of weird little creature, is walking around like kind of not speaking, just looking at all these like superheroes. Kind of like came about that like Phil was like in his room, I think in his room, and I just like kind of looked in, and he's like, and I figured out that was the dude doing the lip twos with the unbuckled helmet, all fly, Oakley O-frames. And I kind of, I don't even know like how, but somehow went into his room and was just chilling there watching him play Pac-Man. And like, kind of like speaking a little bit, and just gilling.
Phil was playing.
Full bromance. Yeah, I was one of the top Pac-Man players online at that point. It was I had techniques. It was fucking awesome. Afterwards, we got reconnected through Mikkel. But Henrik, I remember, showed me a picture of him doing a switch Cork 9 Tindy on a backcountry jump, a sequence shot. And I could not believe my eyes, like at the style of that. It was like the reincarnation of Mikkel. And that's when I understood that was the God. Seriously, like, since then, never stopped amazing me. And yeah, I can say my skiing would never be where it is if it wasn't for this relationship. It would have never been bolstered this way. So thankful for you very much, and for you, my man, Rick, in front, and for the people sharing this conversation.
I also want to add something too, that like that is like such a thing, like right back at Phil with like, I'm like always like, especially like while filming for this new video project that we've been filming for this year, every spot basically I've been pulling up to, I always try to think like, how can I like try to impress Phil and Mikkel, and like mainly like trying to like think like, what would Phil do, what would Phil like to see me do, kind of just like always it goes back to like my biggest idols and like who I look up to still so much, and like just like what can I do that like would get them like hyped on where I am at in my skiing career right now, kind of. And that was like always the motivation, every spot. And it's a lot more than that, but yeah.
Wicked. Wrapping it up in silence like this. Beautiful. Thank you so much for the kind words, and I'm honored. And so, everybody, this is Giving Flowers. We had none other than Henrik Harlaut on. Stay tuned, because we're going to get more people on.
Who are we going to have next week? Who knows? I don't know.
But one thing for sure is Henrik's going to come back on, because we ain't gave enough. The man deserves a whole field of flowers, and this was just a bouquet, so yeah, man. It's going to be back.
Give thanks, Henrik, for everything. Fucking love skiing.
Thanks to you guys.
Yeah.
So much. Thank you.
And Rick, I want to shout out the style every time. Next level. The clothing, the apparel, I can tell you putting them some time.
I did. I went right to my closet beside my workout bike. Bam! The time was spent for the show.
That's what's up.
So, you guys enjoy Sweden. Fucking thanks for my comments and numbers all froze an hour ago. But thanks for anyone who listened to us the whole time, man. I enjoyed just talking to both you guys as always, and that's the point. So, I don't know, big up both yourselves. Fucking enjoy the shred. Big up Kimbo Sessions. Go check that out if no one knows. And yeah, next week.
We got someone on. Undetermined yet, but stay tuned. Love you, dudes. Love you all. Insta fam. And peace.
Peace. Take care.